Hello everyone, this is John from Western Maine Defensive Tactics. We're going to talk about how to reload your lever action efficiently today. Now remember that the overwhelming goal is to get shells into this loading gate, and anything that helps you do that is a good thing. Let's talk about how you're going to manage your ammunition first. I'm wearing my shell belt under my shirt. This is how I like to do this. I generally don't wear the belt around my waist because it interferes with my knife and my gun, and in cold weather it tends to get, because I layer up quite a lot, it tends to get confounded with the coat tails, shirt tails, the hem of my sweatshirt or my fleece or whatever. It tends to just to be bulked upon, and it's harder to access. So I wear it like mid-chest or about around my ribs. I like to wear it in colder weather, of course, kind of like this. I'll have a sweatshirt or a fleece on, and then I'll have a thicker jacket or fleece or something on over the top of it. I'll wear it underneath one layer of clothing because it protects the ammunition, but I can still reach it pretty easily. You could also use a small pouch or something like that. And the thing with the belt or the pouch is to make sure your ammunition is stable, so it's not bouncing all around or moving around on the belt. So if you have a pouch, make sure there's a good lid on it, preferably something that's maybe spring-loaded or elastic or something like that. So when you reach in to grab a round, it closes up when you remove your hand. That way, so as you're moving, it doesn't bounce shells around. A pouch is okay. I'm kind of playing with pouches a little bit too, though they tend to jingle quite a lot. And of course, there's always the old pocket full of ammunition. That actually works if you're upright or kneeling. I found that works pretty well. What I don't like about it is if you have a pocket full of shells, it sounds like you've got a pocket full of shells. It's not good for stealthy movement. So anyway, let's get on how to do it. So method A, I have the gun at my waist and I'm just going to load like I'm a deer hunter. I'm going to look down at my gate, place it, push it. Maintain situational awareness. Not bad. Let me pull these out here because I'm going to do a couple of different methods. I'm going to run on a magazine room. This is okay in some situations. It's not my favorite because what tends to happen is you pull a shell out, you put it in, and you look down. And the loading gate draws you in. Yes, you can train beyond it. Yes, you should know how to do it, because not one method isn't going to be ideal, is from what I found, because again, different positions. So I'll set these aside. Okay, so John, you don't like your muzzle down at waist level. What about putting it up? So this puts the loading gate a bit more in your peripheral vision. You've got to hold it up with your opposite hand. You can sometimes plant the butt, in your belt, on top of your thigh or something like that. It makes it kind of stable. And then you pluck shells out, put it here. This isn't bad. This isn't bad. This isn't not ideal in some situations because maybe you're in a covered position. You don't want to stick your muzzle up about it, reveal your position. What about the old shotgun position? This is what I'm actually liking the best right now. My gate is still reasonably within my peripheral vision. I can still find it. Even if I need to glance down, it's just a bit of a glance. I don't have to look directly down at it. And I can maintain good situational awareness and scanning. This is what I like right now because I found this to be the best when moving around. And I gotta stay on camera, but if I walk around a little bit, try to stay on camera, I can still load this gun while I'm moving. And I practice moving fairly quickly in doing this. It works pretty well. Another thing I've experimented with is plucking 2 shells from the belt. Don't do it. You're going to drop one. I can do it most of the time. I can do 1 shell at a time 99% of the time. Whereas on the move, if I'm moving pretty quickly, I'm going to drop one or two shells a couple of times during a load. Sometimes I'll go, let's say if I reload the whole gun, sometimes I'll go 10 loads and never drop a shell, taking 2 at a time, and then I'll drop 3 in the next one. Depending on what terrain I'm moving over. If it's real flat level and I'm not moving very fast, it's fine. If I'm hiking up a little bit, if we're going a little bit uphill, it takes a little bit more jiggle around to get it, and sometimes you drop things. And honestly, at my age, my fingers don't work quite as well as they used to. So 1 shell at a time is how I'm doing it. Anyway, get out and work with the 30-30 or your whatever. Before I end, I found the rifle cartridges handle much better than the pistol cartridges. I have a .44 Magnum as well I've been working with. The 30-30 handles real well. The 45-70 is the easiest load of all because you get those big fat honking shells and they feed right in easy. But the smaller cartridges like 350, I don't have a 357 lever as of yet. I'm kind of wondering how those will handle, because again, my mileage with my fingers and my neurological system right now, these handle a lot better than the 44, and I bet I'd have a harder time with the 357. Just pointing that out. May or may not affect you. But anyway, so 1, 2, 3, and my favorite, because this moves with me, it makes the gun part of the body. May or may not be useful to you. I found that most of these work pretty well when kneeling. Works pretty well with kneeling. This works okay when kneeling, but it kind of, again, draws you down. I don't like this. There's other ways to do it. I like this because this feels like the gun is tighter into my body, and I like that better. It's more in my zone of control. Prone, of course, I'd lay it down, feed them in. Of course, everybody knows you can't use a lever action prone, right? Anyway, hope this helps you out, saves you a little bit of time, and makes you happy. Get out there and work with that lever. Still not dead. I say that with 2 assault weapons, quote unquote, on the table behind you. Doing a little work today on the range. All right, you guys take care.